Ah, good evening, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Late for the Party on YouTube. I am your host, Harry LeBrea, aka Coverboy, the Modern Marvel. That's right, you guys. We're gonna get into a quickfire review. I know it's a little late because I know the movie's been out already, but it's all right. That's why we call it Late for the Party because you're always on time when you're late for the party. Well, we're going to talk about Transformers 1 in a few moments. Before we do that, please like, comment, share, subscribe to the podcast. Let's get the subscribers up on YouTube. Trying to get a plaque this year. See how that goes. That'll be my mission. That'll be my mission statement to get a YouTube plaque. Looking forward to doing that. So also, I uploaded everything from Spotify to my YouTube channel. The Late for the Party podcast playlist has 460, well, it'll be 462 once I upload this episode to the podcast. So, yeah, guys, looking forward to it. Let's get to it. So, you can check me out on TikTok, Instagram. Well, we're already on YouTube, so either way. But tell a friend, tell a foe, let everybody know that this is Late for the Party and this is how we go. So let's get to it. So, wanted to share my thoughts about Transformers 1, and I must say, Transformers 1 is definitely next to Bumblebee and the original Transformers the movie. And that's not saying like a lot, but Transformers 1 and Bumblebee were probably the best out of the franchise that we got. Now, granted, the first one with Michael Bay, I mean, that was the first time we ever got it, but we've ever got a Transformers in live action. And for what it was worth, it was okay. But then, when you go down the line, that was about it. But, the main topic of discussion was, we're getting Transformers, but we're getting Transformers in a way to where how are the Transformers basically it's the story's about you, but you're co-starring in your own movie. And we're focused on Shia LaBeouf and all of them and like who cares? We want to see Autobots versus Decepticons. And honestly, with Transformers 1, it was very misleading at first because when you watch the trailer, it doesn't really correlate the fact that like it almost felt like it was going to be a comedy buddy cop. Like okay, you got Orion Pax and D16. For those who may or may not know, Orion Pax is before he becomes Optimus Prime, and D16 before he becomes Megatron. Now, they were friends. They were damn near like brothers, you know, and you could see very misleading, very sleeperish film that honestly it was great. It pulled some heartstrings too when you see the finished product of how the movie ended and you see the turmoil and the pain. I mean, coming from the guy who directed Toy Story 4, Inside Out, and Up, you know, he put some emotions involved, and we get no humans. No humans in sight. This is what most of us was aiming for. Transformers on Cybertron. Transformers fight Autobots fighting Decepticons. These were the things that we were always asking for throughout the entire franchise. And we finally get it. We got it, and it is great. Chris Hemsworth playing young Orion Pax. What's his name? Brian Tyree Henry from Atlanta. in Bullet Train, playing the voice of D16. Keenan from Keenan and Peele. I keep forgetting his whole name. Uh, he's he's playing Bumblebee D16. B 127. And then we got Scarlett Johansson playing Alita 1, who is pretty much Optimus Prime's main squeeze in the long run. Even though, like, with her it comes with a lot. Like, if you've watched any of the Transformer franchise back in especially Generation 1, that was Optimus's main squeeze, you know? But it's cool because we finally get the aspect of, like, what the dynamic was between and how it fell, how the factions between the Autobots became and then the Decepticons. And honestly, you see the motivations between the two. Now, honestly, I can't even be mad. I don't want to get into too many spoilers, but you're going to see some, like, extreme measures on how things were approached, to where when D16 and D16 and Orion Pax start to unveil the truth behind certain things that were going on Cybertron, and it takes it back. That's why we always say, never meet your heroes, because you get disappointed somewhere along the lines. And a lot of sacrifices were made, and certain characters, not trying to get into too many spoilers because a lot of people may or may not seen it, but honestly, it's probably one of the, like, just the dynamic of how a decision could alter somebody's perspective on they approach how they were approached, now how they approached their own life. And yeah, and it takes it certain individuals go left very, very quickly. And I mean, you see the origins of how the Decepticons were created, and how certain Decepticons, like certain characters, were there already, who were already there, who played a part in some of the how things would come about in the long run. And like I said, I don't want to get into too many spoiler talks with it, but deep down, it is definitely a worth watch. I'm serious, you guys. Like, this, definitely one of the best movies I've seen since how long has it been out now? Going on a couple of years, like 1 year, 2 years. No, it just came out in 2024. So, and it just got to streaming not that long ago. But like I said, I definitely give it a good, I give it a solid 9. I give this a solid 9. Granted, there was a couple things in the movie that I feel like, of course, they had some, like, of course, they're appealing to children and toys and whatnot, but then when you really get into the story, it really gets in. And, like, on level, this is almost on, like, it gave me, well, of course, like I said, the director of the film was already, who did works on Toy Story 4, Up, and, like, he already had, like, Pixar. This is Transformers 1 is on Pixar quality levels. That's how this is. And I recommend anybody watching it. You can watch it with your kids, you can watch it with your boys, your girl, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I recommend it. And I always say, like, more importantly, just enjoy, and just anybody who's a serious hardcore Transformers fan like myself, we finally got a couple that knocked out of the park, and let's just keep it that way. Like Transformers 1 and Bumblebee were probably the best films the whole Transformer franchise have to offer. Now, Rise of the Machines wasn't bad, but there wasn't enough time with the Maximals to really give me a good, like, oh cool. We were more focused on Mirage, who acted more like, he didn't even act like Mirage. He acted more like a combination between, I want to be like more like a hot rod mixed with a little bit of jazz. So, but either way, I digress from my point, but I want to get into the next segment before doing that. So, like I said, this is the Quickfire Review. This is my Quickfire Review of Transformers 1. You can now watch it on, it's now streaming on Paramount Plus. So, yeah, check it out for yourselves. And then when you do, go in the comment section and hit me up and whatnot. We can talk about it on the next live or when I go live on YouTube. But either way, you guys, this is the Quickfire Review on Late for the Party. Check me out on all forms of social media. Check me out. Well, if you're watching me on YouTube now, like I said, I'm not really putting my stuff on Spotify or anything anymore. So I'm going to focus all my attention on YouTube. So check me out on there. The link tree is in the description. Also, the link tree will have the links to the Late for the Party merch, which you can find on spring.com or teespring.com. You can also check me out on TikTok, forever how long TikTok will be lasting. But either way, you guys, I am your host, Harry Labrea, aka Cover Boy, the Modern Marvel, signing off. And as always, you're always on time when you're late for the party.